Hey guys, welcome back. As you can tell, this is a different episode. We're in the same location. There's no split screen here. There's two people. We're gonna try and contain our excitement as much as possible. But welcome back to mantalk.ke. Me and Oscar are very excited to be back. I say that every time when I'm over there, but now when we're here, I really mean it. I'm so excited to be sat across from you, bro. How are you?
No,
do you know how I was trying to keep myself together? I'm so excited.
We've gotten here. 5 months. I haven't seen you since. So for everyone who's been watching Man Talk consistently, we haven't seen each other since
May.
Since we shot the episode with Foy.
Yeah.
And Joyce Minor.
4 months. Four and a bit months. Coming up to 5. This is the fifth month.
This is the 5th month. We haven't seen each other face to face.
Physically.
We've just been running everything virtually.
Just on the phone.
Yeah. And
Who invented WhatsApp? Because they need a commission.
I feel like we need to, this moment right here, we need to thank the entire crew, everyone who's been involved behind the scenes in putting together the content as consistently as we have for a whole 5 months. I feel like that's something that the crew needs to get real credit for, and everyone who's been involved. Yeah.
So our crew, as we've always said, is women-led. So Beryl behind the camera, thank you so much. I'm trying to look directly into her eyes, but the camera's blocking her. But Beryl, thank you. Thank you also to the audience for sticking with us. Thank you, George. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Becky. We have an amazing team.
Amazing team.
I think you're right for saying that.
Yeah.
We couldn't have done it without.
We could not. There's no chance.
No
chance.
It would have stopped for 4 months. Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
No Man Talk for nearly half a year.
Yeah. But somehow.
We're
here.
Somehow.
Here we are.
Somehow.
Look at us.
I can just
touch it. Episode is back.
Oh, it just feels.
Episode is back. Episode is back. And today's episode, I think just ties a lot into just the experiences that we've had in the past 5 months. Because today's episode is about if we knew then what we know now.
Yeah.
It's even as close as 5 months ago.
Because for context, for everyone that doesn't know, I know we said it in our first episode.
Yeah.
Me leaving was very quick. Because after that Joyce Minor shoot, we didn't know what was going to happen.
Yeah.
And this is how this happened because you got COVID straight after that shoot, the next week when it was supposed to film.
Yeah.
Then, so you were locked away for 2 weeks?
Yeah.
And then the 2 weeks, and we was meant to film that next week, and then England went on the red list.
Yeah.
So again, we went to those shoots thinking, we know how it's going to pan out. 2 weeks, we would have a buffer episode.
Yeah.
But we didn't know that.
Yeah.
And we ended up doing those few months. So it's a perfect.
Here's another thing that's happened between
another
that
stat.
time.
Another stat.
Another stat.
Tell us.
We've shot more episodes with our crew, our new crew of Beryl and Becky, away from each other than we've shot with them together.
Yeah.
That's insane.
It's crazy.
When we were doing the lives on Instagram, and everyone who loves our Instagram lives, we started that while I was in quarantine.
While you got COVID.
While I was in quarantine when I had COVID, which is in May, because it was something to keep the ship alive.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
But I'm just happy there's no more split screen, bro. I'm happy there's no more split screen that way or this way.
No, it's like
so now we're here. So life is very funny, as you can tell. Life is very weird. So we wanted to be very introspective and have a look, and now go on a deeper level. Because that's on a micro. We want to go on a macro, with our lives. What do we wish
we knew
then
that we now know today?
What I wish I knew then that I know today. Yeah, very true. So do you want to go with yours first?
Go first.
Okay, I'll go first. Go
ahead.
I wanted to hesitate with mine a bit, but let me tell you why. Mine is quite recent, and I got clearance from my friend that I'm going to talk about to discuss this. We always talk about our character traits and what we think we're good at, what we think we're bad at.
Yeah.
We like to think about how we can be better humans.
Yeah.
And I've always thought I was quite a well-rounded human. I thought my stubbornness and things was a good thing, but I realized it's not, and this is why. So a few months ago, I have some very close friends of mine. This is the one I told you. I have some very close friends of mine, and an incident happened, and basically what it meant is that there was miscommunication, and there was a lot of stubbornness from my end. Yeah. We both said we're both stubborn, but there was a lot of stubbornness, and that led to us not speaking for an extended period of time, which was so painful. Like it was so, because these are best friends for like 15 years, right? So we didn't speak for a long period of time. And that all came about because the actual incident was so minor, but the response to it on my side was
ruthless.
I feel disrespect, I feel this.
Yeah.
The response from their side is, oh, he's not talking to me, so no, we're not going to talk. And that dragged out for so long. And then when we did eventually make up, we sat back and we realized that the stubbornness that you have, Eli, has caused us this period of time of not spending time together, valuable time. And on their side, they were like, your stubbornness has caused us to not, So I wish I knew those months ago that yes, your adamance and your morals and your respect. Yeah. I know if someone does this to me, I don't speak to them. I wish I didn't have that in that context.
Yeah, there's been a lot of romanticization of cutting people off, cut someone off. And even I said it in an episode, but you have to be very judicious with how you implement it. You have to be very cautious because you might actually I think you might actually overcompensate or just overpunish a situation and overanalyze a situation and give something that's not proportional. Yeah. So just don't make sure that your reaction in social situations are proportional to kind of the actual situation and that's the value of the relationship.
Yeah. The key word you said there is proportional, because while there was maybe a period of time that it would have been valid, after a certain time, it didn't actually make sense anymore.
It was very
disproportional. So it's being able to, and you sent me a clip the other day, being able to be so self-analyzing that you can take it out of the situation and say, okay, how am I actually organizing this?
Exactly.
Because, I was never cutting them off, but my thing was, I need to prove that you don't do this to me.
It's an ego reaction.
Ego reaction.
Yeah.
But do you know what happened after all of that?
Yeah.
When we did make up, bro, again, we talked about crying in the last episode. I didn't cry, but I got the lump. Again, I got the lump because we were talking about I got the lump. Bro, this is best friends for 15 years. I got the lump and I was like, because now they're emotional, I'm emotional. I was like, God. Yeah. And I was thinking, this is all because of a stupid decision.
Yeah.
But the only thing I would say, so I wish I knew that stubbornness.
And you've seen the word you've used there, stupid decision.
Yeah, 100% stupid decision. That the one thing I'd say to Eli back then is, yes, it's definitely valid. It's definitely valid, but the key thing is, apart from stubbornness, is to communicate. Because if I'd communicated how I felt, then the conversation we had when we made up would not have had to happen that far down the line. We would have had that early, cut it off, express how you felt and moved on and spent that valuable time together. So,
there's a lot of value in being direct also. Especially with people who you forged a strong relationship with. Be direct, yo, this is unacceptable, what's up?
Yeah.
And that's when, and we actually had this conversation on a live before with Kim, shout out to Kim. Where if I communicate the fact that you've gone past a certain boundary of mine and you don't change your behavior and you continue to transgress the boundaries that I've set for you, only then will I implement that kind of ruthless decision. Because you see now I've made my boundaries very clear, I've asserted them, and you're not respecting the assertions that I've made. So the only option I have now is to kind of take that power away from you and remove you from my social situation, from our social relationship, until you can seem to understand that that's a boundary that is meaningful to me. That's so I think I think maybe the step for you was that miscommunication aspect.
Because that reaction should have been based on fact, like you said, but not assumption.
Exactly.
Because my assumption was, you know exactly how I feel right now.
Yeah.
And your actions is based on how I feel and then reacting to how I feel.
Yeah.
But for them, they don't know how I feel because I've not said it.
Yeah.
So, this even back in a very old relationship of mine, that was one of the things as well. Eli, you don't communicate. You assume that because you've set out how you like your life, that people always are going to think like you.
Yeah.
But people, A plus B does not
always
and
what's even crazier?
Yeah.
The people who are more susceptible to falling into that trap, and if you notice that that's a behavior of yours, are the people who you had long relationships with, because I
expect you to think
like me.
Yeah. And then what I realized is even the way I thought the sequence of events had, the way I thought their mind was interpreting the sequence of events was off as well. So I was now assuming their behavior.
Jeez.
So to conclude, basically, you know who you are, and I love you deep, and you know that. But guys, especially when it's someone close to you, communicate. If it's like a romantic relationship, normal relationship, if you don't communicate, never assume, because I lost a good few months.
I have a question. do you have an individual relationship with each of these people?
Yeah.
And you cut them off simultaneously.
Yeah.
My guy, you're cold-blooded.
Yeah.
My guy, you're colder than this bottle in my hand right now.
But I hate that. I hate that aspect of me translated into that love relationship I have. I understand it in some contexts. It's definitely needed.
Yeah.
If someone in business, someone, there's no like emotion attached, that you definitely need to be like that because you need to set your boundaries. But when it comes to that, you have to take yourself out and think, what is it worth?
Yeah, our egos can be our worst enemy.
100%.
Yeah, especially as men.
Yeah. So to conclude, I wish I knew, let me put this down. I wish I knew then that your ego and your stubbornness and your assumptions do not serve you well in some some relationships, romantic or otherwise.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
It's a good one. I like that. Like we deep that.
Yeah, that got deep. We get deep as well.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Oscar, what do you wish you knew then that you know now?
Direction is way more important than speed.
Say that again, but slower.
Direction is way more important than speed.
Come on. Yeah.
Like for
me. The dam.
Yeah. For me.
Yeah.
For me, that's been the lesson I feel like.
You wish you knew.
If I knew that when I was younger, my God, my approach in life would be very different. Because you see, with social media and comparison, and we're constantly like looking at other people and saying, hey, this guy's driving a Beamer now, a Benz now. He's getting promotions in jobs. He has a traveling job. Like him and his girlfriend of like 2 months are now in Watamu.
Yeah.
And you're there. You're there as a young person and you're like, man, I need to get this money. I need to be, I need to go crazy. My guy, if you're doing something that's small and something like you're serving a role in a market and you're gathering experience, there's a point in your career where that experience will pay off.
Yeah, very true.
If you're constantly productive, and this is something that we don't see much in our country, especially because a lot of people, and I'd hate to say it, but like we live in a society that's very corrupt. So a lot of people are sitting in offices, not just because of their skill, but sometimes they do have the skill, but also because of like an uncle, an auntie, a connection, some nepotism. So like that's put them in certain offices. So when you look at the amount of effort you expend, if you're genuinely working and you're genuinely trying to eke a living out of this job that you're working, you find yourself comparing yourself against others. And when you're young, it can lead to very reckless behavior because you begin to disrespect the role that you've been given. You start saying like if I'm being paid X, then why am I putting in that much work and that much time in my role? And you see, that's like something that's absolutely insane to think.
Thinking about speed when it comes to money, that's the speed
because
part.
that's the speed part. You're sitting down and thinking, yo, this other person has been rushing, like you can tell, but you don't know. People are literally in Kenya printing money in their bedrooms. Printing money in their bedrooms.
Hey, he said it.
Yeah.
He said it.
So how are you sitting down and comparing yourself? Like for me, I sat down, I was like, what? That entire time where you've been putting yourself through agony, people are printing money in their bedrooms. You're actually adding value to people's lives. And like, that's such a...
Because when you compare those two directions, it looks like that direction, it's going very well.
Yeah, it's going very well.
There's a massive stop sign. But you going slowly. Yeah,
you going slowly, learning the experience, understanding the job, building the connections, making your clients happy, making your employers happy, making your mentors happy, constantly working on yourself, working on your schedules, improving your mindset, because to actually be able to, like, especially in the legal career, to actually be able to deliver consistently, you have to have consistent habits. If you don't have consistent habits, you're going to be mediocre at best. You get what I mean? And, another thing about speed is you get attracted to certain environments. You get what I mean? Because if you don't have direction, you'll find yourself looking to socialize with people who seem to have it today. So, and you'll see those guys like going to clubs, like, hey dude, you're cool, you're doing this thing called man talk, let's go to a club, buy bottles, sit down, have drinks. Like, if you indulge that at a young age, there's no way in hell that you're going to change your environment to even accommodate people who are focused on doing it day by day, doing the work.
Because it takes you off your direction. It takes you start swaying, and you end up in a completely different
one. So for me, I honestly think, especially for the young men who listen, like, if you're that guy who's just like, you're patient with yourself. You don't have too much like going on for you now. Direction is way more important than speed. The day the payoff comes, Jesus Christ,
you'll get all of that reimbursed.
All of that reimbursed. And then at the same time, you'll have another thing. There's no way in hell you'll ever go a rung below. And if you do, it'll probably be a learning curve because you've been there anyway. You get what I mean? But for people who just speed through objectives and want that quick one-time success, like I said, getting attracted to a lifestyle that's where you're printing money in your bedroom, that's just unrealistic because you will pay a tax. So,
that's so true. And it's like we said on one of the episodes, it said that the market determines you by how replaceable you are.
Exactly.
So it's similar to that. Like if you're speeding along, you're very replaceable because you've not earned the stripes. Right. There's a value in earning the stripes.
Exactly.
I have a question on the back of your discovery. How do you deal with that comparison that comes, especially as a man? I know it happens to ladies as well, but we're men, so we'll speak to men. Those guys that you see driving a Benz, doing this before you maybe, and maybe when you're younger, you're thinking, my direction's not matching up. Because as much as you can know the theory, how do you manage to put it into practice? Because what I found is I can say things on Mantle, I can say things on Alive, but when I'm in that situation, I have to really try and actually take my own advice. It's really hard. So it's so hard. Taking your own advice.
Guys, we are here constantly shooting videos. We're here constantly shooting videos talking about like, as a man, you should do A, B, C, D, but we are also men. So we also have to like watch our own videos. And go like, that's something I said. I have to live up to that standard. When it comes to actually practically, because we have to take our own advice on this podcast, we have to rewatch these episodes. When you're in that place where you're like, if guys are speeding along and you're focused on a certain direction, there's something that you see. And we said this in a previous episode. I really respect people who have the determination to bring to life a vision that only they can see.
Come on,
you get what I mean? Like that's a very different level of commitment and focus. Because like, if you have a certain vision, when you start, nobody's seeing what you're doing. Nobody's seeing what you're doing. But as you begin to actualize it, many people start to understand, wait, we might be dealing with a special thing. And then when you get to the place where the payoff comes, everybody's applauding for you. Everyone's like, oh my God, you guys are doing such a terrific job. And we've had that experience as well.
Lonely road.
And we are still there. We're still on that journey. But what for me, how I've managed to like stay focused in terms of my direction is, one, I make sure that I'm very grounded with the people who are around me. Like the people who are around me are not afraid to criticize anything that I do. That's one. The second thing is, I don't have yes men. We don't have yes men around us. Our team is very like, you're not going to tell Beryl, that you're not showing up for a shoot. Because like last night you had a hangover and now she's woken up. She's been working. You can't,
I couldn't make that phone call.
Calling Becky.
She'll throw a camera at me.
Calling Becky, telling her, you can't upload a video on YouTube because you don't know how to do it. Even your own team is full of people who are like elite. So how the hell are you out here being crazy? You know what I mean?
100%. Because you match yourself up to that excellence.
Exactly.
And you have to be playing at the same level.
Like you see, that's the thing. Like we're not, even this team, even like our environment, no yes men around us. And you've met my friends. All of them. What yes? There's no yes about, there's no, they slap you back in place. So that's the first thing that's like kept me like very focused in terms of direction. Two is also like the fact that I have to have confidence in myself. And it's the kind of confidence that's a byproduct of preparation and self-awareness. It's a byproduct of self-work. You can't be confident if you're not taking time to invest in yourself and getting to know who you are. It's unfortunate, but that's just the truth. Especially when you're in a situation where, especially when you're looking at situations where you're seeing other people succeed and you begin to compare yourself.
The worst.
But
the thing is, when we say comparison, sorry to stop you, but when you talk about comparison, how we're going to say it's bad? It's also, there's no way you don't do it. So don't be hard on yourself when you do compare. Because but it's how you react to that comparison.
It's the reaction.
It's the reaction to the comparison, because you're going to compare no matter what. Sorry, carry on.
And then the third thing, I think for me, because you've asked a question that's very nascent and very important, is when you look at something glitter, my guy, it might not even be that. It might not be gold.
That's so true.
Because like I said, I'll stick to it. People are printing money in their bedrooms in this country. Me, like once I saw that, I was like, we're not playing the same game anymore. Like everything we've been sitting down and talking about, it's valid. Because as a guy, you can imagine how much it takes away from you. You feel like it take away from you is when you start seeing people live a lifestyle that's unrealistic. And the narrative that they push is work hard. I'm working hard. You're not working hard. That's the narrative. That's alpha, that's alpha nonsense. That that's what they're pushing. But these guys, they're not really putting in the work.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's
and like we said in the episode, a lot of the men who are really like masculine. In fact, I have an update. Turns out, do you remember the story of Afghanistan?
The story if you didn't see it, watch last episode. Yeah.
That guy didn't take just one child, flew with 5.
It just gets better and better.
Yeah. So now, like I was giving the update. Actually, Oscar, you got it wrong. He didn't just take his sister's one daughter. He took 5, all 5 of her children, and they're now planning to get his sister into the country.
That's insane.
Yeah,
That's insane.
yeah.
So
and apparently a bomb went off in the middle of all that. He was less than 200 feet away.
If there's any movie writers or like short
Look
writers,
for this guy, please.
You need to find this guy and let him tell that story.
Him.
That's incredible.
And he's like I said, most quiet. So you see, we've been sold a lie. Guys are trying to be. We've been sold a lie. Yeah. So direction is way more important than speed. Just keep your head down and stay focused.
Yeah. Just on the back, I'd hate to not add to that. You've mentioned the practical things that we do. One thing I've realized is, yes, we say all of these man talk things, we say things out loud on an episode. Yeah. But if you don't repeat them out loud, later on, they can go to the back of your mind and it's hard to bring them to the forefront when you need them. Yeah. So something I've been doing, like the wallpaper on my phone is a Kipchoge quote. If you don't control your mind will control you, right? I don't think it's his quote, but he says it a lot. Having something like that as your wallpaper, like as a visual thing. When I look at my phone in the morning and it's early, and I don't want to get up, and I'm seeing something like if you don't control your mind, as a first reaction to my day, I see that. Fine. Naturally, I'm like, no. And actually, if there was a camera in my room, I look a bit mad, but I'll actually say it out loud. Yeah. And I'll be like, if you don't, when you're half asleep, you're not there. I'll be like, if you don't control your mind, and I'll be saying it out loud. And even when I'm having those moments of doubt, I'll go back and think about something. I said something that I like a quote that I like from somebody else. And I'll vocally say it to myself in the mirror, just out loud, or because we've got masks, you can just remind yourself. You love farming, and it sounds crazy, but it actually works because you can sometimes be completely lost. I can't talk to anyone. Talk to yourself. But there's a power in vocalizing it. So try it. It sounds weird the first time, but it works.
It's fine.
It works.
It's fine.
It works. It's strange how effective it's been just in the last 8 months of my life. Yeah.
That's good. Yeah. That's good. I think there's no comment there. That's a very good take.
Practical
okay,
tip.
Give us your second principle.
I'm really letting you guys into my life. I'm really okay. So my first one was about something quite recent. So my second one, it might seem a bit strange, and that's because I think it goes against the narrative that might be out there that I've put out about myself. Go. If I knew then what I knew now. Although I haven't followed the conventional route of going on the back of my education and using it to create revenue, I do wish that I applied myself more in my education. Here's why. You know that annoying kid in school that never revises? Or if he does, it's minimal. And when it comes to his test, he still does well. He'll just not finesse the teachers, but he's like a sweet boy, so the teachers like him. He'll get away with things, and you manage to just get through, get decent grades, still respected by your teachers, and use a lot of maybe social capital or social skills to get yourself through, right? And also, without sounding arrogant, I was quite blessed to be naturally quite intelligent. So I got away with not doing the work a lot of the time. And I sat there and I thought, although I haven't used it, I feel like I've done a disservice to myself in not applying myself how I knew I could. Because although I got through and although I don't need to have that degree, I know I could have done even better than I did. So I feel like now, Eli that's older, I feel angry at the younger Eli who didn't think it was, I thought I could get away with it and I wouldn't feel it down the line. But although if you looked at my grades, you'd be like, but you did fine. But I know if that's what I did I'd say I put in 30% effort in school. If I put in even 20% more,
Yeah.
Maybe it would have changed my direction. But then again, you can't ever say. But maybe I would have actually used what I did in education
to actually
later
live
on.
the life that you
but
want.
at the same time, I like what I'm doing. But it's always, I don't know, it's not even about what I've done practically or even money. It's about mentally when I think, because when I go to tell my kids work hard, I'll know I didn't work hard. I can't lie. I did my dissertation in 2 weeks. Like it doesn't make sense. And I feel a guilt about what I did back then.
It's a very, academics and education is a very, 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 it's a very sensitive topic, and it's a very vulnerable place to be, especially for most African Kenyan men and women. Because you see, we come from a society that really, really values education and like values it completely. And when you yourself don't necessarily find yourself through the channels that have been set for you, there's a feeling you get that, you probably did not do enough, or you didn't respect the process enough. You know what I mean? And I feel that because even when I was in campus, because like I was also I realized very quickly that I'm much more innovative on a project by project basis rather than like the sit down, do the desk work. And like for a career like mine, you really need to be able to like sit on a chair. Like my dad, I'll never forget. There's this time when he looked at my grades and he noticed that they were slipping. And then the thing that he told me was, the difference between a good lawyer and a great lawyer is a difference where they sit down on a desk and look at their computer. It's that simple. If you sit down and you review your work more often, you're a better lawyer because you'll have less mistakes, less errors, and it's the same thing with any profession. The amount of time you spend with your work is what will differentiate you. So like, but you see, for when you're young, hot-blooded, and you're kind of innovative, that innovation leads to a lot of restlessness.
Very true. And okay, so that's true, because I was listening to somebody who founded, it's a company in the UK called moonpig.com. You know Moonpig? You listen. So he said something, and it kind of put me at ease, because he said, he's got a multi-million-dollar company, pound company, $1.5 billion dollar company. Sorry, insulting to say it's million. So he was talking about how he structured his team, and he was saying they'll talk about compromise they've made on employees. So this is why I just thought about myself, because they said, yes, when I'm hiring somebody, even in a high position, I'll need somebody that can understand the assignment, do it in those parameters, and deliver based on the task. Right? You need that person that when they were in school, they weren't like me. They actually did the task. They were scared to go outside those boundaries. And with that, you get a very predictable result. You need them. But then you also need somebody that's a bit more of a maverick, and they'll say, okay, that's the task. I understand it. I'm competent, but I actually like this way of doing it better. The compromise you'll make then is these guys might be paid the same. This guy might be really bad at the admin and the sitting down, like your dad's mentioned. But at the same time, he'll think in a different way and add intangible value that this guy can't. He can't go to that place. Again, but with this guy, you'll need him to work alongside him to be able to get a result that's consistent, predictable, but also developed on by this other person, because he understands that process, but he goes that extra step further.
One gives innovation, the other gives discipline.
Exactly. To put it in a sentence. So I sort of looked at myself and I said, okay, maybe my problem is I was bouncing between the two in education because I didn't know who I was. So in discovering that, yes, I know I'll focus, but I want to do this. Okay, no, let me go back to focus and let me do this. A great example of that was after secondary school, I got good grades. So then I went to I'm not going to go to the whole background, but different counties have different schooling opportunities. So I moved from Oxfordshire to Kent, and in Kent they have grammar schools, which is like a step above normal schools, because it's for like people that have passed a certain test. So with my grades, I got accepted into a grammar school. Now, this is Elijah that's 15, 16 years old. And I was starting to resent structure. So my dad takes me, he's got work, but he needs to go for this. I have to go for an interview in the school. I get it, and he's really proud of me. He's driving me back like, well done, you've done really well. I'm gonna drop you here. I'm going back to work. And there was an anger that I'd passed the test, if I'm honest. There was an anger because I was leaving the school that I'd come to for a bit, and now I was going to this other school. I didn't know anyone. Now you want to put me here just because you're clever. And I was like, what's going on here? So I found myself, when I got to that school, firstly, again, naturally, we all know this, only black guy in the school. And I got there and I started rebelling against that school just because I didn't like the fact that I was here based on there was no
ability.
social, my ability, and there was no social element that I liked because everyone there was very ski trips in the summer, very, a little bit elitist.
I hear what you're saying.
So in that school, for context, within 2 months I got suspended.
Oh no!
Because I was in a science class, and also I felt like because I joined late, there was a kind of I was sort of looked down on. He's joined late. Yes, he got the grades, but you've come late.
Yeah.
But they didn't know it's because I'd come from like a different county. So with that, I was in a science class, and they did a completely different science to what I did back in Oxfordshire. Then this teacher started now in the classroom now asking me so many questions compared to other people.
Yeah.
And I flipped like at the teacher. And that wasn't because back I said I used to be a sweet boy, Teachers love me, and I'm like, why the teachers don't love me here? They don't. I don't have that social element.
Do you think that you felt targeted because of that whole the social dynamic?
Because I had to start at the bottom. I didn't know.
And also the fact that you're black.
Yeah, 100%. So I ended up.
Jesus.
I didn't even go crazy. I think I just said something rude to her, like a sarcastic response. Then she actually lied, and she was like, Eli just swore at me in front of the class, and I ended up getting suspended. And then my parents were like, hey, maybe something's gone wrong here. So to conclude, I wish that, I, even in those situations, I didn't react in an immature way. Yeah. Yes, they've served me well because I've ended up where I am now, but I wish that I just got my head down a bit more.
That's a bit of a harsh critique on a younger Eli though.
Yeah, he didn't know.
Because like from where I'm sitting, it's like, listen, the social dynamics that are surrounding the entire situation are quite risky.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, because you're only black kid in the school, and you are a very self-aware person. So I'm guessing self-awareness doesn't start from when you're older. It might also begin when you're quite young now. So I'm very sure you're very aware of the fact that you're that you're different. So what you were looking for in a school was empathy, but instead you got
and also respect. Because the way I've been brought up, my parents instilled in me that I am exceptional, like consistently, like you're exceptional, you're exceptional, you're exceptional, and I'm like, yeah, I am exceptional. And in all the other situations I was in, I can excel in sports, I can excel in school, I am exceptional. So when now you're young and you're being confronted with somebody that's looking at you in a class like you're not, and you're the exception to the rule rather than being exceptional, you're like, who are you talking to?
Yeah, you're not exceptional. You are an exception to the rule. You're the diversity hire.
Exactly. So
you're the diversity student.
I wish that all through. Okay, it's maybe unfair on myself, but I'll just say that if you have the ability, just
manifest it.
Manifest it. Do the very best because you're not going to go to school again. You're not going to go to school again.
I agree with that completely because I also attended a really good university in high school as well. And I remember when I was in high school, worst grades I've ever put together were in my high school phase. Because I was trying to fit in. Now the social element of education was brought into the school, and I was in a public school. It was a very tough kind of. And I told you the story about how we were brought for exchange students to come and see the school. When it was like the Black African public school experience. They bring us kids. The kids are flown in, and then they socialize with the students, and then you realize that these guys are flying back in a private jet. You don't even understand what a private jet means.
You just hear it like, oh.
Yeah, and I'm thankful for that opportunity to even meet those people because it led to a big opportunity later in my life. But one of the things it was really tough for me to settle into that school because I had a bit of a different experience in primary school, and because it was a much more, I'd say, would I use the word soft? It's much more like I was given much more room to be creative in my life. And it was very clear to me that my creative capabilities, especially when it came to writing, were much higher than my numerical capabilities, my quantitative capabilities. But later, I learned to kind of gel myself, to kind of align myself socially, to be able to kind of get what I wanted out of the school anyway. And when I went to university, that same trait, like manifested itself again in university, where I'm again in a different environment and trying to fit in, and I'm not as confident. So like you're trying to be the bad guy, you're trying to be different, and you're not paying attention in class because you've expended so much energy trying to fit into an environment.
You can't do both.
Instead of like keeping your head down and staying in the books. And here's what's even crazier: the people who keep their head down in the class and stay in the books and listen to their mentors are often people from less privileged backgrounds because they understand that they're not here to impress anyone. They're here to work. And once they go through that, their lives are very different right now.
Yeah.
If you compare us where we started and where they are now, I mean, I have a friend, hopefully we'll bring him on, who went to Harvard from a high school in Kajiado that wasn't even a top tier high school, but like this guy is redefining his life as we watch it. You get what I mean? He's my age, but when you look at achievements, he's like, my guy. It's a whole other level. Hopefully we'll have him on.
There's a beauty in having the weight of the world on your shoulders
early.
Because you
realizing
understand the value of things.
The value of things early. And you see, like for you, because you come from a background where you're safe, but you also wanted to excel. It's just that it manifested itself in very different ways. It's the same thing with what happened with my life, where like I realized very quickly I wanted to excel, and I don't know if the path that's been set for me is the path that's the most efficient. I'd rather set my own path. And the way that manifests itself is rebelliousness.
100%. 100%.
So
I think what we're trying to say is put in the effort, but at the same time, I think you've made a good point to me saying, don't be hard on yourself if you don't. So you've made me actually think maybe I shouldn't be as hard on myself, but if you have the capability, just go the distance and see what you can do. That's
see what you can do.
That's what I'm going to say to my kids. Just go the distance. You might hate it, just try. So you don't feel guilty later on in life.
There are certain opportunities that you won't get unless you go all in.
100%.
Unless you go all in. Like there's no way in hell you're going to Harvard from an undergrad if you don't go all in.
You have to. You have to, unless you're just very good at sports.
Unless you're LeBron or and you come from Kenya. If you're watching this, you're most likely Kenyan. So here the scouts aren't busy like that. Masai Ujiri came to Kenya recently to build basketball courts for you. But where you will find your uplifting, you'll be lifted in life is if you keep your head down and focus on your field and focus on your path. Your parents also aren't crazy. There's also that. Your parents will tell you.
You said this in your episode when we were at your firm, season 3, episode 2. If that's correct, I'm a gangster. And you basically were saying that
it's actually correct.
It's actually
it is actually correct.
We know our content. Come on.
Well, fine.
And we were saying that during that time when my dad's dropping me at school early, taking me to those interviews. You think your parents are working against your better interests. It doesn't make sense at that time, but the only people that love you deep and actually care and sometimes don't care that you're slightly hurt by their action because they see the broader picture, they see Eli at 28 thinking that, are your parents. So if you're like a teen and you're like, they don't care about me, I want to be a photographer, but they want me to do this. Like, no, listen to them. Because until you know your path, and you're completely convicted by it, let them guide you until you know
a little
path.
bit. Listen. You can be crazy. I actually advocate for a rebellious person. Because that means that you're not normified. I agree to it, but
objective rebellion.
I don't know.
No, you need
I'll put that on a t-shirt.
Objective rebellion. Like I'm one rebellious because this
is what I want to do. But if it's just rebellion for rebellion's sake, it's just it's crazy. But don't be conservative. Be a bit radical, but be rational. A rational radical.
Rational radical. Come on.
We have it.
That was awful. Let's do it.
We're not used to it. We haven't seen each other in a long time.
High
fives on a laptop. Be like a rational radical. Think fast before you're like, okay, if I take this step, think 5 steps ahead. A member of my family is having their first interview right now. And one of the questions he's being asked, most likely, is, where do you see yourself in 5 years? When you're making that decision to be a bit deviant, ask yourself, 5 years from now,
does this rebellion serve a
purpose?
Does
this rebellion serve? Does mean, let's say, like personally, I took a year off from School of Law. And there's been attacks. I have no doubt about it. As we discussed.
Extensively.
It's been attacks. There's been attacks. So that year of experience that I had where I worked, was the rationale for it. I didn't just wake up one morning and go, to hell with this profession for a while. It was like, I'm going to get experience because down the line, there's going to be a payout. You see what I mean? This is way more valuable than any master's degree. Big facts. So
there's a couple gems there. There's definitely. I hope it helps somebody that's like in that stage, the teens. Because I wish there was someone, not my parents, kind of cool. I think we're kind of cool. Like,
No,
that, do you know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah, to
We
say
didn't have
to
that.
say-
Like, we
yeah.
didn't have that. Like,
This is why Man Talks here, man.
yeah. My
What's your
my
second?
second.
Oh,
second,
second, yeah.
Imagine, it's
Yeah.
it's actually just two.
I've enjoyed
Jesus.
that. That was a good.
Yeah, that was a good one. Second, philosophy. So for me, it's something that I don't think we think about early, but think about it early and you'll see it manifest later, is create valuable habits. There's a reason why school insisted that we do physical education. There's a reason why they insisted like PE is important, working out is important, eating right is important, having a routine is important. Because I realized that when you're out of kind of the school system and you join uni, you throw out the routine, like completely. And you don't take care of your health, you don't take care of your mind, you don't take care of your spirit in terms of prayer, because it's like that total rebelliousness that you're saying.
There's a cost.
There's a cost. Because like for me in my life, the people who I've noticed are the most successful, like I have a friend who for me was like graduated valedictorian of our class. Hopefully he'll also come on now that you're back.
There's room for another chair.
Yeah. This guy's been working out since first year. Right? Now he's well, like that was like 4, 5, 6 years ago. But as of today, like he's buff. He's a senior associate at a big auditing firm. The fact that he wakes up every morning and gets the workouts in means that he is more fit and he has more time to execute on work.
And at a more efficient and higher level.
And he's more efficient at a higher level. He's met more people who work out just like him. His environment, his investment opportunities are very different from the ones that are from the people like us who didn't necessarily create these super valuable habits. And when I say people like me, it's like I started out playing basketball, but I had to tail it off because of like, I was like, let me focus on books and school. But like now, later in my life, I'm like, damn man, if I continued, it would even have given me like that, that network of like super productive people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so true.
Yeah, that network of super productive people I would have met, I would have been living probably a slightly different life because my ideas would have been different. And I might even have been better than where I am now. You know what I mean?
I hear you.
The opportunity cost for not having those valuable habits is so high and it's very invisible. Like if you're waking up in the morning and the first thing you're doing is getting on some porn instead of like even something as simple as 10 press-ups, a word of prayer, that robs from you.
That decision is very
big. It robs from you, and it does it slightly. So I just think that when you're young, you have to be very careful about the habits you pick up because the chains of habit are light until they're too heavy.
That's so true. Say it again for them.
The chains of habit are light until they're far too heavy.
That's so true. And do you know what? There's something
That's Warren Buffett.
That's Warren Buffett. I love that. So there's something my sister told me when I was I wouldn't say a dark place, but I was struggling with motivation, right? And she went to a seminar with this doctor, very intelligent guy, talking about business, social media, being a doctor. And I think he works in psychology. And I've heard it said a few times, even Benji, our friend, said it as well. He was saying that, I think he was in the same thing. So they were talking about habit. And they were saying that, a lot of people, you'll watch entrepreneurs and successful people saying, you need to be motivated every morning. You need to do this every morning, be motivated. And they act like motivation is going to be a consistent factor in your life that's going to propel you.
It's discipline.
It's discipline and it's habit. So it's making sure that I'm not motivated to do it. I'm there, I do it at 10%, but I've not broken the chain that you're talking about, the positive chain of habit. I've not broken that. So I've consistently done that. And that can be a substitute for motivation because the direction versus speed, you're still going in the same direction, right? But when you stop that habit, that positive habit, then you've deviated, and your speed has also gone down as well. So they were saying, don't rely on motivation because it's not always going to be there. It's not realistic to say be motivated, wake up, say your mantras. It's not. Like you have to make it a habit to say it when you don't feel like it, but you still said it. The gym, like you've gone in the morning, you don't want to, you've done 20% of your effort rate, but you've still gone. So like you've won. And Rotimi always says, if you move, you've won. Like,
man.
It's those things. I
always feel so bad, because like it's like put in that effort because I didn't create the habit. So now I'm paying the tax
of now generating.
Like I have to create. I have to create the habit, And I really wish when I was younger, because when I was younger, I was like athletic.
Yeah.
So I never continued.
Yeah.
And that fact where like I hung it up, it really cost me like big.
Yeah.
Because I love the game of basketball. I love it. But like I have to now figure a way to implement like a personal fitness lifestyle at an age where I'm still young, yes, but the effort is like 10 times more.
Oh, it's like, bro, I'm touching 30, and let me the recovery time for everything is double already. Yeah. And I think physically I've got a young body anyway, but I'm starting to feel it already. I'm really starting to feel it. I think I've been working out for like 12 years now, right? And I think we're talking about habit, we're talking about motivation. At the same time, your habit, you want it to continue, but especially with exercise, this is what I'd say is you're not always going to actually turn up. Like even if you break the habit, the longer you stay away from it, and I do this all the time. So a practical example, let's put it into time frames. So I normally work out 4 or 5 times a week. If I'm in a slump and I don't do it, and I work out and I miss one day, if I'm guilty that I didn't work out the last day, and I take that guilt to the next day with me, and that's 2 days I've missed. I take that guilt to the next day, it's 3 days I've missed. Yeah, okay. So the fact that if I'm have more empathy for myself and say, it's okay, you've missed it. Just go to the gym, stand there, see what happens. Yeah. So at some points, I won't even have a workout in my mind. I'll just drive, I'll go there and I turn up and, okay, I'm here. I do, like I've said, the 20%, the 10%, I've still done it. Because when you're starting a car, I'm turning into my dad with analogies, to get a car to start is more effort. But when you've got it and it's rolling, even if it's rolling slowly, just to tap a bit of gas, it will go. But now to start, the catalyst has to start from scratch. So even if you go really slow, almost at standstill, don't completely stop. Don't take a week off, because starting again, the recovery time, and then psychologically to get yourself back to where you were a week ago is so much longer. Timmy, comment if this is true, but it's so much harder. So even the last few months, even with exercise, I've been in a slump as well. Yeah. But it's just telling yourself, even if you're doing 10% effort.
Another habit that's like less talked about is procrastination.
I'm a professional procrastinator. I'll tell you that now. Professional.
Let me tell you, it's the most irritating habit to get rid of. Because like you now have to tell yourself, nah, bruh, I don't care what you do. Yeah. I don't, like you have to be your own boss in your brain. It's like, nah, I don't care what you do. I don't care if you don't sleep, that's your business. Yeah. I don't care. And one of the things that like COVID-19 has done is that if you didn't have a personal routine, it's like it's like amplified the whole situation.
Yeah, because now you're having to rather than having a destination to get to at a certain time, you have to get yourself that destination mentally to start work. Because there's a power in moving somewhere and physically going somewhere. So I completely agree.
And Man Talk today, because we know, everyone knows that Thursdays 9 p.m. is the time because of the habit we've created. And we were saying it like, it doesn't matter what happens. Thursday 9 p.m. The camera is on.
Yeah, bro. We're talking about, we said yesterday when we were speaking, we need to talk about gassing ourselves. And I tell you, I struggle with this. But one thing I will say, Eli, I'm proud of you, because I was working, I don't go into it, but when I was in the UK, I was working full time. Yeah. Obviously, no one even knew that. Even you at some point, you didn't know. Yeah. I was working full time and I had to get to a live straight after 8 hours. Like I have to drive back and then get on the live. And sometimes it was like 30 seconds left to get onto the live. But I said to myself, the fact that I managed to get there after a long day, like still like sweaty, like it's hot, it was summer. Getting there and turning up each day, when you've done it, you're like, you're a gangster. You're tired, but you're a complete gangster for getting there. So it's so true. But what I'd say as well is there's so many layers to it.
Do you remember the time when I came from the office in my suit?
In your suit, but you still turned up regardless.
Show up,
yeah. It's so true. Yeah. I was gonna say, the key thing there as well is it's gonna be hard to sometimes turn up to something if you're not following a path that you like or love. It's gonna be very hard to turn up.
That direction is more important
than speed, because it goes into the habits. It goes into habits. But that's 2 out of, I don't know what our time is. I don't know, can we do one more? 50 minutes,
one more.
Okay, one more. So, no, is it mine or yours? Oh, yours is mine. Yeah. My final one is a bit cheesy, but I wish, I've got an incredible family, but I love you all. Mom, if you're watching this, Dad, if you're watching this, I wish I valued them more when I was younger. I didn't care, I'll be honest with you. I cared about me, and me and my friends. I said this in the Wabosha episode, like, I was so self-centered, and I said that, you know, the adamant serves you in a certain way, but also it can really damage in others. So I wish that, again, like with my best friends that I ruined time with, I wish I didn't ruin time with the people I love the most. There's 4 people in my life, because there was times when you're a teen, I thought living was more important than like loving. So I thought that going out there and living was more important than coming here and just feeling that love in the house. So that's what I wish. When I was a teen, getting my priorities straight. Yeah, but I'm trying to. I feel like I have like make up for it now. Spend valuable time, have those chats, and say like I love you a lot more. Yeah. I think it's important, man.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, and in African homes, especially in Kenya, it's not emphasized enough.
Yeah, 100%.
Because there's a lot of demonization of, like, you know, we have. So let me start from the beginning. Everybody will see their family in church, but you'll hit a certain age and going to church with your family is like annoying.
Yeah.
You know, like you want to, but like as you grow older and as you mature, you realize like your family will never change. Yeah, they're tied to you for life.
Yeah, 100%, bro. It's true. And one of the, I've heard this said a few times. I know this is going to be a quick one, but I think it's important. I hear, you know, the Man Enough podcast we always talk about, and also Gary Vaynerchuk says this as well. He says, okay, he's a very dramatic person, but he says the one thing that keeps my perspective is imagining everybody I love dying. Here's the thing. And then in the Man Enough podcast, they say at the end, okay, say what you want people to say at your eulogy. So taking it to that extreme sometimes can sometimes like shift you, because if I was to now look and say, if everyone in my family died, have I done and said everything I want to those people?
Do you often think, leave alone even
about them dying? No.
Not about them dying, like your own mortality.
Yes. Yeah. If I'm honest, yes. But
and so like that will give you a perspective as to how much time you really spend.
So that's why I sort of couple it with this everyone dying and then me dying. This is so deep and dark, but when I have that, when I look and I think about it, that perspective, sometimes I'm proud of myself. I think, if I was to go, this is really dark, but if I was to go, I think the general consensus would be a positive one. And not just because it's eulogy. It'll be like, no, my experience with him was good. Yeah, my experience was good too. I think it would be good. And then when I'm thinking about, then when I flipped, I think about now with my family, I sometimes think, if they were to go, would I be able to say at their eulogy that I spent enough time sort of with them? So one thing I did, if you follow, I think we spoke about this on the live, is I took my dad out for like lunch, and I just said everything I wanted to say like to him, and we had conversations I've always wanted to do, because I always thought like anything was to happen, I've vocalized that, you know. So I wish I did that earlier, but I'm glad I'm making up for it now. I know that was very dark and deep, but it's and true.
For me, I also had a kind of similar moment when Donda dropped. Where there's a song, I think it's 24, I don't know, where it starts, dear God, make it all right, dear Lord, make it all right.
Yeah.
So it was like, can you imagine like losing your mom? You know, because Kanye West did.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
you get what I mean?
Yeah.
And that song, when it starts, is dear Lord, make it all right. Dear Lord, please make it all right, because it doesn't feel right. Yeah. And when I had that, I was like, you're my guy. Like one day,
it's a reality. It's fact.
One day you will pray. That's a similar prayer. Saying, goodness gracious, this is pain beyond belief. And you know, like I just texted my mom. I was like, you know, I hope you know that you're the single most important person in my life right now.
I hope she wasn't next to your dad when she read that, because he'll be like, huh?
Yeah. No. Like,
no,
but like I text you, my dad. My dad is vibes. So like I told my dad I love him as well. But like for my mom and dad and my brother and my sisters, they are so important to me. It's unbelievable. So and like that album just made me realize it.
Just how important.
Because you know, you can live. This is somebody who's achieved everything, but like that prayer is still there. Dear God,
and nothing
make it
will
all right.
quench that thirst for the time.
Yeah,
nothing.
That's a very good one.
Yeah, 100%.
Final one, less funny.
Less funny.
I didn't
find that amusing.
No, less funny. Sorry. Something a bit more hilarious to like.
Please, because
deflate there.
I almost didn't say mine. I knew it would go
mine is manners maketh man. And please, no one likes ashy ankles and elbows.
Oscar, I want you to tell us where you drew the inspiration from. Did you at one point have the said ashy ankles?
You know, when you play basketball, you wear shorts, but you don't really care about the Vaseline, you know?
Yeah.
So care about your, manners maketh man. Learn to use a fork and knife,
Yeah.
It helps.
Yeah.
Don't go on dates.
Yeah, because...
And when you're on dates, the chick is using chopsticks, and you are... South Sea is nice,
Yeah.
It's nice to come from South Sea. We use our hands there, but
there's some environments where...
where there's some skills.
Very important. Culinary skills especially.
Like, especially, I'll never forget, like, I took one of an intern, that time I was a pupil, and then I just got the job I have now. And I remember she was using the chopsticks at this, I was saying thank you because she really, really helped me during that time at NT. Very good friend of mine. And she'll watch this and laugh. But like she was using those chopsticks and I tried and I just went, nah. I would be lying on set if I said today I can use chopsticks. Don't test that theory. You're free to test it.
If the bill's
you
on
can send us noodles on set. As you can
I will
tell,
try.
There's space here. For chopsticks. But like skills like those
very important.
Are very important. Another skill is golf.
That's what I want to get into. As I'm touching 30, I need to be able to get on that fairway.
Like, listen, bro, manners maketh man. You create, and this was that habits thing, and it also ties into the habits thing and the direction. If you learn how to play golf early, you get in, and it might be coming from a place of privilege, but hey, it's the reality that we're occupying. A lot of us have these opportunities to do these things that look corny, but like, think 5-6 years down the line, like, can I do it rather than spending that money on boaties in clubs to impress people you won't even care about in the next 2 weeks, let alone 1 year?
Can I make an investment in something?
Can I make an investment in a skill that gives me a different manner, that gives me a different social skill? Like, can I buy a suit, know how that suit fits my body? Can I learn how to use a fork and knife well? Eat chicken with a fork and knife. That's the test. Like,
and especially for, because I feel like a lot of ladies have this down. A lot of ladies they're very good manners.
Actually, you'll be shocked.
Well, the ladies I've encountered. But I'll say,
my side when it comes to the ladies. My views.
I'll say, especially for like the young guys out there. Beryl, just put your thumb up if you agree. I feel like one of the most attractive things that girls find is, number one, like you smell good. Ooh. You hold yourself nicely, your posture, everything. And when you're at a meal, you're impressive to like look at. There's not moments where he's like, oh, he's got something. But he's not. Not like, because it's thumb up or down. Beryl's done a thumb up for everyone. Those things that like you've taken the manners and you've looked at, you've moisturized. Like it goes such a long way. It seems minor to you, but moisturize your whole body, not just what's going to be seen.
You know what I mean? Because you never know when it'll be seen.
Hey,
you know what I mean?
Hey.
Anyways, then there's another thing. There's another thing that I found crazy. Just yesterday, remember when I was telling you there was this golf thing I was going to check out and stuff. One of the people who walked in is a young guy who we did the panel session with for National AIDS Control Council. I don't remember his. He was the president of Daystar. We'll try and see if we can get him here as well. Former president of Daystar. And this guy walks in and he's like 3-4 years younger than us. And I ask him, yo, what are you doing here? He's like, yeah, I'm just, I'm a member. I'm trying to. I was like, and he's always so like straight. And I was like, at his age, he has that. I was like, the difference between him and everyone else will start to show over time.
100%.
Because like if you're constantly being seen around a certain crowd of people, it might be, and we don't want to sound like we're being pretentious. The thing that we have to constantly think about is, like, especially as young African men, is how do people perceive us as young African men, not just locally, but globally. Like, as a young African man, the standard for you is so much higher to be able to achieve the same level of success compared to other races. And it's just the reality that's there. And even in this country, like, the fact that eloquent Africans are here rubs some people the wrong way.
I'm not going to tell that story, but I've had that experience.
It rubs some people the wrong way in terms of like them looking at us and going like, how the hell are these Kenyans?
They're not fitting the mold.
Yeah, the
template that's been put up.
gangster.
Yeah. Show
You
some
know,
black
it's talking
excellence.
from the side of your neck. You know, like ultra aggressive.
Yeah.
Nah, my guy, soft skills.
Yeah.
Excuse me, madam. How are you doing, madam? Are you well, madam? That's
might find your wife using that stuff.
Trust me. Trust me.
Yeah, well, don't trust
You'll be shocked
because clearly
you'll be shocked. Yeah,
but
but like, bro, but like you'll be shocked, like how many opportunities, just that simple.
by being impressed.
Yeah, that simple, like, wow, like I left that conversation feeling like, yo, this is a gentleman. This is somebody I can entrust with.
Yeah, can I tell you a quick story on that?
Yeah.
Quick story on that. Sorry, it saved me some money.
Yeah.
No, it didn't save me money. It saved me time. I'd say time.
Yeah.
When curfew first started in Kenya, I was driving and then I was doing some business and I ended up coming back late. And I got caught by a policeman at the barrier. It was near Village Market. And there was these guys in the car in front of me. You can tell these are like rich young kids, but they had no manners. So these guys got locked up, put in the thing. I don't know what happens later. They already bribed themselves, but the policeman was so aggressive to them. And now I'm behind them like, oh God, I'm dealing with that guy next, right? So I'm ready to just be, you know.
Yeah.
And the thing is with me, again, like I said, I don't bribe. So I was like, I might end up in a cell tonight.
Yeah.
So this wasn't even it was me and my brother. It wasn't even a conscious thing, but just the respect I have for authority and the respect I have for older, especially African men. He was so impressed that he literally, so when we pulled up, so he's in a bad mood. He's come from this, he's coming, hey, why are you out? You know, aggressive. And I just started, I'm very sorry, sir. You know, I explained the situation calmly and called him sir, respected him. And I could just see his facial expressions.
What? Yeah, I was about to put you in a cell.
I was about to
throw you out this car.
His face softened and then he's asking about my sister. Oh, where have you come from? Which turn did you take? Oh, that's a shame. He goes, and he literally said, you're such a gentleman that even if you're lying to me, I believe you. He said that to me. It's like, even if you're lying, you're such a gentleman. And then I said, yeah, I saw what you had to go through. He goes, yeah, you have no idea. And now he's telling me about his evening, how everyone else, and now we're on the
he's
same
a policeman.
Policeman.
Because there's a stereotype.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he thought as well, like, because I speak English, he thought I was going to be, like, sorry, with the English accent, he thought I'd be arrogant.
Yeah.
That's the assumption of a lot of people, that I'm going to be arrogant, pretentious, entitled, and be like, oh, you don't know, or bribe.
Manners, my guy.
Make it the man. And I didn't, do you know what happened after that?
Okay.
Firstly, we became like homies. Like, he's like, tell me about his day. We sat there just chatting, having a pleasant day. Then he gives me the number if I have any problems going forward.
Yeah.
If you ever have problems in curfew, call this number. Here's me. Here's my colleague who's a chief. Like, and that wasn't from me doing anything.
Exactly.
It might have, accent might have played a difference, but after a while, it goes beyond that. It goes into how have you looked in this man's eyes? How have you addressed him? Have you given him the respect? Because especially with a man, if you give him respect,
wow. You might get a job.
You might get a job, yeah.
You might get a job.
I got a number. He was like, don't move, let this guy go out. Turned around, go home, no problems at all. And these guys are going to sleep in a cell because they were arrogant. Moisturize your ankles and have manners from your mouth. Yeah.
And when I say moisturize your ankles.
Please.
Yeah, your mouth too. It's not bad.
Yeah.
Watch the episode on Lenana Kariba. You should have seen how often.
Yeah. Good episode.
Yeah.
We need that guy back. But was that the final? I think that's the final one.
That's the final one.
That's the final one. Yeah. I've enjoyed.
We're back.
I've enjoyed Oscar. It feels so correct. It feels right. And I have to say, you look great.
You look great too, bro. Yes. Yeah.
You look great.
Oh, in terms of weight.
Great.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
I saw it earlier and I was like, I can't stop his flow, but I really wanted to say it. It was a try.
Another final thing. Bring on the collaborations.
Oh, so many in the pipeline. There's so many.
Bring them on. Line them up. Tee them up. And a few interesting sponsors now.
I can't wait. It's going to be a very good few seasons. I'm back. We're back. And thank you for coming back to Man Talk, watching, liking, and subscribing, because I hope you've done it already. And please share widely, because it helps us to grow. It helps us to get more people to come on, because they've seen some numbers. So please share, take a clip, send it to your friend.
And moisturize your ankles.
Moisturize your ankles.
Bye.
See you later, guys. Bye. So, guys, I know you thought that the episode finished, and we finished, we wrapped it, and then we said, wait a minute. We said we're going to be doing something at the end of every episode. We need to suggest something that you guys should watch or listen to, and let's do that now. Sorry, we got carried away. We got carried away with being back.
We got too excited, we're back.
Also, I normally have notes on my laptop. On the other one.
You're used to it?
I'm used to it. So now having to use it in my head, we're back in the flow. So, would you like to go first?
Today's mantalk.ke plug, because that's the name now. We decided.
We haven't.
Look at this guy.
I like Mantalk mentions. You like Mantalk plug.
I like Mantalk. So we'll just use both. Mantalk.
You'll be saying plug. I'll be saying mentions.
Yeah,
That's fine. This is your plug.
Yeah. This is my plug.
There you go.
So There's a book called Still Like an Artist by Austin Kleon. It was suggested to me on set by our team. Shout out to Eric and George when we shot the Foy Wamboy episode. And I am thoroughly impressed with that suggestion because I'm learning a lot about how you can have a creative endeavor with your work that allows you to sample from other people's work in a way that is original and clear. So like if you're trying to, like, if you see something like a concept, there's a very effective way of actually replicating that in your own way. So
That's literally a cheat code.
Yeah, it is.
Especially in the creative. What's it called?
Still Like an Artist.
Still by
Austin Kleon.
Still Like an Artist, Austin Kleon. Is it a book? It's a book. Audiobook?
Yep.
Or
Audible, baby.
Oh yeah, I love Audible. I love Audible. We need to reach out to Audible.
We need to,
Yeah,
Audible,
honestly.
you need to call us.
Yeah, my Man Talk Mention is a book that I finished in one day because it was that good.
No way.
Audible again.
One book, 1 day.
6 hours, yeah.
Which one?
6 hours. So it's called Green Light by Matthew Mcconaughey. I was hesitant to listen to an autobiography slash journal, but it's not anything like that. It's not like a self-help. It's not like just an account of his life. It's something that merges into the two. Now, imagine Matthew McConaughey narrating his life, but also giving really valuable insight in his artistic way. So him narrating his stories in his voice and it's actually so entertaining because you feel like you're there with him. I'll give like 3 buzzwords. Just imagine Matthew McConaughey in the middle of Africa wrestling with a professional wrestler on his travels, and no one knows who he is. There's those kind of stories, and then there's really good life advice. At the very end of the book, you'll be surprised that everything he's achieved, he wrote down on the first day of on being on set as an actor. So everything he achieved, he did it, and he was like, I found this after reading all of my journal and writing my book. I found this note that I'd made on my first day on set, and everything on there I've ticked off.
Fire.
So it's entertaining.
It's a fugazi.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah. It also gives you behind the scenes of like being an actor and making really hard choices. One of the moments that I said when I was coming back to Kenya, I just said no, I'm doing it. It was actually inspired by something that he did, and the saying no to things, inspired by something he said in the book. So I'm not going to go into it because it's a quick thing, but Green Light, Matthew McConaughey, it's on Audible. Don't read the book, listen to Audible. Trust me, because he can narrate. That guy can narrate. But yeah.
Do you think about me now and then? Do you think about me now and then?
Why is that?
'Cause I'm coming home again.
Hey! Guys, that was Man Talk Mentions, Man Talk Plug.
Yeah.
See you on the next one. Peace.
Peace.